Hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Let's Play Dragon Quest I. We are here at the Dragonlord's castle, only got one thing to do, and that's to beat him up and see the credits roll. Again, going back to our conversation a episode or two ago, can't remember exactly when I talked about this, about the background tiling for these indoor environments in these games. I really appreciate the fact that this map reflects the fact that the castle's surrounded on the overworld map by a giant poison swamp with the poison tiles in the background. It's a nice little touch. But yeah, I'm kind of impressed that the Dragonlord could ever convince anyone to deliver a pizza to his address, considering, you know, you gotta walk up a giant mountainous path, and then as soon as you get up the mountain pass, there's just this huge poison swamp that you gotta make your way through, and it just seems like a whole process. Though again, maybe the Dragonlord is the type that would, you know, the type of person I'm gonna talk about here, you know, the type that's too snooty to ever order a pizza, those types of people. It couldn't be me. I just had a pizza today, and it was delicious. Anyways, enough nonsense. Talking about the final dungeon here, it's a little tricky. It's not too bad. The enemies here are fairly strong, but if you've been keeping up with your equipment upgrades and you're about level 18, level 19, I think that's about the minimum you want to be for tackling this dungeon. Really, it's kind of interesting because by traditional old-school RPG standards, this dungeon layout isn't that complex or long necessarily, but by the standards of this game, it feels colossal, just because up until now, all the dungeons we've been exploring have been pretty simple in their design. Though, you know, I think that is kind of intentional, again, considering the fact that we only have one party member to really use here, so things need to be a little more simplified than games where we have a party of 4 or 6 or whatever, so kind of all balances out. So yeah, this final dungeon is a bit of a stretch compared to the other ones, a little bit of a marathon, but it's not that bad, and really the real hurdle is going to be the final boss, who you're going to want to make sure you have enough MP for, so just be a little cautious with your resource spending as you go through this final dungeon, and you should be golden. So yeah, we get a hint here, but also there is an NPC in one of the towns earlier in the game who also told us about this hidden staircase that we're going to actually want to go through. There's 2 other staircases that you probably noticed on the map. We went down the one, and it led to a dead end. Both of them lead to dead ends, so where you're going to want to go is actually this hidden staircase there, and we're going to want to bring some magic keys for that door, at least. I think there might be a few other doors that we need keys for, not entirely sure. Don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, if you really want to make this a cakewalk, I'd say just grind up to level like 20 or so, and no matter what your stats are, you'd probably be fine going through this whole area and beating the final boss and not having too difficult of a time. You should be pretty golden. I will say, though, I'm a little bummed out by this area's aesthetic, because I remember even as a kid thinking this, playing the Game Boy Color version when I was younger. You get to the final dungeon, and it's this cool-looking regal castle, and you're so excited to just go in and kick some ass or whatever, and then you go down the stairs, and it's immediately just another cave, and it uses the same type of tile set that all the other caves in the game have used, and it's, well, I guess that's not true. The grave of Galen used a kind of different-looking tile set, but it's just another cave, and I thought that was a little bit of a bummer. I like this enemy's coloring, though, actually. You know, the blue and orange color combo is a classic, but to add the little bit of lavender to the underneath there, that's a nice little combination of colors that I don't think is too common. Really like that look, though. But yeah, what can I say? Maybe the Dragonlord just never managed to finish his basement. Never got the home improvement crew to come in and make this place all nice and spiffy. Could probably fit a couple pool tables in here. Maybe an indoor pool, even. I'm coming up with a lot of headcanons about the Dragonlord and his living situation in this, not even the first 5 minutes of this Let's Play. It's fun. I think that's something that's, you know, something that's really easy to do with, very, how should I say, underdeveloped or not very well-drawn characters. You know, the Dragonlord is just an evil sorcerer archetype guy. He's a walking cliche. Sometimes they're easier for parody and to poke fun at things like this. Gonna be a few treasure chests in here. Obviously not as useful because we've done pretty much all we want to do in terms of shopping and whatnot, but I'm going to use an herb here just to top off and get this other one. Might as well. Basically a free heal out of that chest. And we are eventually going to, there's a couple different branching paths you can go through in this area. And it can be pretty easy to get lost. Also, the limited visibility doesn't necessarily help a ton, unfortunately. You're going to want to be mindful. It wouldn't even be a bad idea to take some torches, I don't think, because you want to, again, you want to be mindful of your MP. And you're probably going to waste a little bit of your MP going into this dungeon just because you're probably going to want to keep using that glow spell. So, yeah, kind of a drag, but adds to the challenge of this otherwise, you know, simple but large, expansive area. It's not insurmountable, though. Once you get a feel for the place, it's not too hard to kind of piece together where you should be going. And some of the little offshoots and optional areas here can actually deliver some cool loot, which we'll see soon enough. Oh yeah, that's no good. There we go, much better. There is actually, I don't remember if I show it off, maybe I do, maybe I don't, but there is actually a cave or stair system here that, well, first let's talk about this, because this treasure chest that we can find if we go the right way has Airdrip Sword in it, the best sword in the game. Pretty cool stuff. It's a little bit better than the Fireblade. I don't think it casts any spells, though, when used as a item in battle, so. But yeah, you can see we have an attack of 109. Then when we go to equip this thing, we got 121. Pretty good upgrade, if I do say so myself. We're going to want that for the final boss. So yeah, you can see that more regal-looking area from the rest of the dungeon, so it's kind of your little hint that, hey, maybe you should explore around because there's something kind of cool looking over here. I also really like the idea that the Dragonlord found the Chosen One's legendary sword, and he's like, I better fucking put this in my, somewhere deep in my dank-ass basement, because I don't want I don't want anyone finding this fucking thing. Kind of funny. But yeah, as I was saying, there is a portion of this dungeon that kind of... I think this is it, actually. Is this it? Let's look. I don't want to spoil it if I do show it off. Yep, this is it. This part of the dungeon is a very funny trap, where it's literally like the Mario Infinite Staircase. You'll keep, if you go down that staircase, it will just loop you back to the other staircase, and it never leads anywhere. It's just this infinite loop that you'll get caught in until you realize what's happening, and you're not actually making any progress, which is pretty funny. I remember that got me pretty good when I was younger. Old NES games really love that concept of, like, oh, we can warp the player back and make them go through a part infinitely until they find the way out, you know? Even the original Mario did that with some of those Bowser castles. I mean, I guess when you think about it, though, that is a pretty cool and unique thing that is kind of hard to replicate in other mediums, or at least, you know, it feels different when it's an interactive experience where the player is actually experiencing that weird sort of warping, like, trapped sensation for themselves. I think that is probably a good reason why a lot of early video games tried to incorporate, you know, stuff like that, where it feels like you're stuck in an infinite loop, because it feels a lot different than watching, like, a character in a movie or reading about a character in a book being stuck in something like that. It feels like you're stuck in it, you know? You know, even little touches like that make it feel so much more unique and offer a more interesting take on it than, well, maybe not more interesting, but a different one than other mediums can provide. So yeah, to get out of that, you just need to go back down the way you came. Once you go back upstairs, you're unstuck. It's not like you're trapped there forever or anything. That would be ridiculous. We're running pretty low on our healing items, unfortunately. Yeah, I just used them all up. But hey, one of my favorite pieces of advice, smoke 'em if you got 'em, as they say. We're nearing the end here. This guy's gonna get a blow on us, and yeah, you can see these enemies deal some pretty solid damage, but so are we, so it all evens out. Use that sizzle spell, hell yeah, light 'em up. Used a little bit more MP than I probably should have in these encounters, unfortunately. Wasn't being too thoughtful about that. If I wasn't recording this, I probably would have grinded up to about level 20, like I was talking about earlier, just to not have to think. But, you know, there we go. That's the reason we want to bring some magic keys into, other than that first initial door, is we get access to the Dragonlord's super cool vault. Now that item is a cursed item. It's not just a waistband, it's a waistband, if you notice the misspelling there. And I believe it'll actually try to murder the hero if you put it on. So we're just not going to. Some of these chests are empty, unfortunately. That one has a magic key in it, which is very funny because I don't think we're going to be using magic keys for the rest of the game. So had a Chimera Wing in there, but we're not gonna need that. Actually, maybe I spoke too soon. Might as well pocket that since we just used that seed. And we're just gonna drop that, yeah. No use whatsoever. Other than a possible late death there. And ooh, yeah, that Knight Abhorrent really did a number on us. Brought us to the yellow. That's actually something I don't think I've commented on yet, but I really do like when old games, and I wish more modern games did this. And, you know, sometimes they do as a callback, but when your characters, or at least one of your characters is low on HP, it'll actually change the entire coloring of the UI. That was something that I've just always loved going back to my, you know, I've always been a big fan of Earthbound, and, you know, that game always did that, so. There's nothing more horrifying in the game than having a character die and just the whole UI goes red and everything's scary. Now see, the dungeon tiling changed for this last bit too, where we go back to the cool castle thing. Make up your mind, game. Dungeon kind of bookends on this regal castle type thing. And yeah, there's that last golem, but I don't want to deal with them. We just want to face the final battle and finish this up. Same with this guy. Get out of here. I want to talk to your boss. Let me speak to your manager. Okay, tone it down a notch, bud. So if you say yes, you're just gonna get a game over. There's no like super duper cool evil ending or anything. So just keep refusing this guy. Fun fact, this choice is actually a cute little timeline split in the Dragon Quest overall continuity. There is actually a game, a spin-off in the series that takes place if the main character here decides to agree to the Dragonlord's offer and plunges the world into darkness and rules over half of it or whatever. Dragon Quest Builders, of all things, the goofy little Dragon Quest take on Minecraft, which is actually a very fun game. I know a lot of people are dismissive of it, and they're like, oh, it's a Minecraft clone or whatever. First of all, Minecraft is a perfectly fine game, so a lot of y'all need to get over yourselves, but second of all, it's actually more than just a Minecraft clone, in my opinion. Like, it's a little more focused, and it's definitely a different type of building type game experience than Minecraft. No, Dragon Quest Builders is really fun. I highly recommend it if you've never played it before. But yeah, actually talking about the final boss fight here, it's pretty much the same as every other boss fight up until now, where we're just going to want to make sure that our HP doesn't get too low, like it was there, and, well, yeah, he can do stuff like, you know, attack us and attempt to spell jam us and all sorts of nasty things, but really our main strategy hasn't changed too much. We really just want to watch our HP heal up using mid-heal whenever we can. Maybe medicinal herb if you have any by this point, but by the time you probably get down here, you've probably used them. And yeah, he can heal himself up too, unfortunately, which kind of prolongs the fight, but not too bad overall. Dude, this is getting a little dicey, though. We're running low on MP. Like I said, I was maybe a little too wasteful going through. Either I should have been more cautious about my MP use, or I should have maybe grinded up to, like I said before, level 20 to really tackle this guy. But hey, we beat him! We did it! Game's over. Nope. Second form, baby! This form is a lot tougher. I'm pretty sure he has more HP too, but yeah, this is gonna be the real last boss fight, and as you can see, he really packs a punch. And we don't have any more MP for healing, so that's a little tricky, yeah. Yeah, there's not much we could do about that there. That was unfortunate. Well, that's half of the gold that we were carrying lost. And we're back all the way at the starting castle. And we're gonna need to walk all the way back there. So that kinda sucks. But, you know, we'll get him round 2. Why don't we save? It's been a while since I saved. Like I said, I played this entire playthrough in, like, I think mostly Saturday, and I think this, like, the last 2 episodes or so worth of footage were recorded the following Sunday. But yeah, this is a pretty short game that it's not too hard to crank out in a weekend. Unfortunately, when we lose to the Dragonlord's true form, we do have to go back and fight his both forms again all at once. Yeah, he's gonna try putting us to sleep a couple times, but it never seems like it works. I'm happy that the snooze spell is oh, never mind. I was about to say that the snooze spell is almost universally useless, but he actually put us to sleep here and is actually almost going to kill us. So never mind. Yeah, that was ooh, I would have been so mad if that actually killed me. Would have been very funny though. I completely forgot that happened before before watching this footage here. Ooh, that was almost scary though. I like how I think that was the most effective example of the snooze spell being used this entire Let's Play, and it was the final boss using it, not even us. What a joke. So yeah, we're going in with a lot more MP this time, so we can take on the Dragonlord's true form, and we should be fine this time around. But yeah, just be risk-averse, be cautious. If you feel like you're in a tight bind, maybe use mid-heal. We can get a few sizzles off too, which are definitely going to help. This fight is really going to be a grind, though. It lasts for quite a while. He has a lot of HP, and yeah, it's really easy for you to just get unlucky, unfortunately. But with enough preparation and just cautious play, should be pretty fine. This is, again, a relatively simple game, and with only one party member to manage, there's only so many different ways this fight can go wrong, unlike Dragon Quest II, which has a lot of ways that many situations can go wrong, and they often will, because that game's random number system is just, I am convinced it's just completely against you. It's a rough time. Can't wait to inevitably Let's Play that one day, but oof, Dragon Quest II is a rough one, let me tell you. Re-releases made that game easier, but still a tricky one to go through. Fun fact, actually, there was this really weird misconception or rumor that used to go around. I remember seeing it a lot in the 2000s online, that in the Japanese versions of the game, This Dragonlord true form was actually the Dragonlord's pet dragon that walked out, and they changed it to a transformation for the Dragonlord in the localized versions of the game. That's actually not true at all. It is actually the case in every version of the game, including the Japanese versions, that this is the Dragonlord's true form. It's not his pet dragon. Someone eventually, inevitably made that up somewhere along the line, and it just kind of stuck in the American, or I guess the Western Dragon Quest fandom for a while there. But no, it's just a superpower cool form. I think it would have been a little more interesting if it was his pet dragon, though. That would have been kind of cool. Like, oh, it comes out to avenge his master, and he's even more powerful than him. That would have been neat. But yeah, we beat him. We got the Sphere of Light. Everything's better. Dragon Quest I has taught us many important lessons, but the most important one of them all is that you should always better the world by going into an old man Recluse's basement and beating him up and getting his cool ball and then going home. We literally just took our ball and went home. That's what we did here. That's the end of this game. It's pretty impressive. I really enjoy the poison swamp around the castle being replaced by flowers. That's pretty neat. And yeah, you can now travel around the world and talk to NPCs and see all sorts of cool things. One thing I wish I showed off that I didn't, if I recall correctly, you can go to Demdara and actually talk to a ghost, which is pretty neat. And there's just a few other things like that. You can go around and explore the world, talk to NPCs, but I didn't really do that for this Let's Play just because I figured, there's only so much time to show stuff like that off, and there's a lot of, NPCs in this game to talk to. So, hey, maybe play this game for yourself and beat the Dragonlord and go around and explore the world and talk to everyone and get that victory lap. I think this is the earliest example I can think of that victory lap style ending that so many RPGs love to do, where you beat the final boss and then the world is at peace, there's no more enemies or anything, and you can just go around and, have a good time talking to everyone now that the world is different, and just revisiting all the places you adventured to and see all the new dialogue that NPCs have. I'm not off the top of my head, just because it's been a while since I've actually gone back through after I beat this game and talked to everyone. I think some places have more new dialogue than others. I can't quite remember, but I think there's a few towns where everyone pretty much says, somewhat similar things, but don't quite remember off the top of my head. A lot of these guards have repeated dialogue. But yeah, we beat the game. That's Dragon Quest I. Let's talk to the king and call it a day. Won't let us go upstairs. And our hero finally talks, first time in the game. And he's just like, no, I would much rather make my own kingdom. Yours kinda sucks. And if we rescued the princess, this part of the ending will play as well. This is the canon version of the ending. There's another version of this ending where this part doesn't happen, and Aleph just kind of fucks off to go sail somewhere, but let's say no. We're gonna go alone. And you're stuck in a loop, and you have to say yes to this, or else you can't see the ending, which is very funny. You need to stop simpering. I hate that they keep putting that in her dialogue. It's so weird. Oh well. Let's not think about that for now and just enjoy the beautiful trumpets as we watch the credits. And we set the stage for Dragon Quest II, which I talked a little bit about already this playthrough, but I'll eventually get to it. I want to at least do Dragon Quest II and III. I really like the Dragon Quest series. I know that you know, even when I started uploading these Let's Play episodes, a lot of people were like, I'll watch this, but I'm not the biggest Dragon Quest fan, and I get that, you know. Dragon Quest is a lot like vanilla ice cream. It's fucking fantastic, but some people just find it too plain. I really love this series, and I would love to cover the later games in this series, especially when we start to get to like Dragon Quest V is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and that is a game that I think deserves a lot more love in the West than it currently has, and I'd love to work my way up to like that and you know, other games in the series when we get there. But for now, gonna take a little bit of a break and maybe take some time between now and covering 2 and 3 and onward. So hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and if this is your first time experiencing Dragon Quest, either the series or just this first individual game here, I hope you liked it, and I hope you decide to play it for yourself or check out some of the other games in the series. 1 through 3 are, you know, all pretty traditional classic games, but if you can ever track down like 4, 5, or 6 for the DS, those games are fantastic. 7 is a very long but very good game. You can get the 3DS version of that, or the old PS1 version with a kind of not as good localization in my opinion, but it's still pretty solid. 8 is also just 8 is a fantastic game, and you know, a lot of people have been singing the praises of 11 as of late. That's the new hot one. So yeah, Dragon Quest is just a fantastic series, and I'm happy I finally got around to covering it for my channel, because as I've discussed, this is a series that I've had a long love for since my childhood years. So just a good time. These credits are going really fast too. Damn, never really noticed that before. But yeah, that's Dragon Quest. Hope you enjoyed the Let's Play, and yeah, if you liked this, check out some of my other Let's Plays, and hey, if you want to throw some cash my way, patreon.com/Rosenbrand is where you can find that. So, thanks a lot, everyone, and have a good night. Bye.